Hey, this is Willard Crafto, and this is going to be a review of the Cerberus Pyrotronics MS-151 pull station. So yeah, here it is. It's a pretty small little pull station. Here it is compared to my hand. So yeah, these were made by, they may have been made by Faraday, but whoever they were made by, Cerberus, Pyrotronics, Siemens, or Faraday, they were made in the late 80s and early 90s and would have been used with those square, they had horn strobes, and then they had speaker strobes, and then multi-tone like sounder strobes and stuff. The Siemens MTL design of alarms. Now, I have a Cerberus Pyrotronics speaker strobe, and it would have gone with those, and it would have gone with the multi-tone sounder strobes that look the same. It would have also gone with the 6226, which is basically a Simplex 9840 with a strobe on the front of it. Excuse me. But yeah, here's the pull station. It's fairly basic. It kind of looks similar to the ones that were after this, the MS-151, that sort of had this design, but they had the screw on the side and the front of it opened this way like a BG-12, and it had a button instead of a switch. These, though, I think came before that. Here's the back of it. It's fairly basic. Here's your screw terminals. Number 2 and 3 are blank. I assume they would have had a version of this that would have had some different kind of switch or something that would have used those. Or the addressable ones may have used them. I don't know. Now, for whatever reason, this pull station has a resistor on it. I'm not sure why. It could have been the end-of-line resistor, but I'm going to leave it alone. And if it screws it up, I'll just take the resistor off. But I have no idea why it's there. But anyway, there's this weird number at the top, and I have no clue what it means except for the last 2 right there. I would have to guess, being that says 91, that's when this pull station was made, is 1991, because that's about the era of these things. I don't know whether these are ADA compliant or not, because they're fairly hard to pull. I'll show you here in a sec, but I don't know whether they're ADA compliant or not. I would assume probably so, but who knows? I have seen these in a building once, though, before. It was in a hotel, and I believe they had SHGs, the first gen ones without the reflector. So yeah, let's go ahead and give this thing a pull now. You just pull it like that, and then it says alarm right there in yellow. So to reset this thing, you need some sort of hex tool. An Allen wrench would probably be better, but this is all I had on hand. So yeah, you just stick it in there and then turn that thing counterclockwise, and the front of it just pops right back up, and it's good to go. You don't have to open it or flip any switches or anything after you pull it. You just pop it, and it resets. So you may be thinking, how in the world do you mount this thing? Well, that's a good question, and I'll show you. To take the front cover off, you turn this and then push up on it, and you hear it click, and then you pull out. It's kind of hard to do if it's not mounted, but There, you pull out like that, and then the whole front comes off. So yeah, here's what the inside looks like. You can see the alarm up there. Cerberus Pyrotronics, non-coded fire alarm box, model MS-151. And they are out of Cedar Knolls, New Jersey. I don't know if they're still there or not, because I don't have any newer Cerberus Pyrotronics devices. I will have to research that. Here's your toggle switch, normal and then alarm, because obviously when you pull the pull station, it flips that switch down. And then when you turn this and the thing flies back up, it takes the switch and flips it back up. And it says switch must be in normal position before closing, and then it says normal and alarm. That's so that if you mount it on the wall when you were first doing installing the system and you wanted to test it and you just flipped it, they wanted to make sure you flipped it back to normal before you put the cover on it, because the cover won't go on if the thing's in alarm. But yeah, this is just the regular switch like a bunch of other pulls have. The FCI, MS2s, the 270 SPO, all kind of stuff like that. Gamewell Centuries, Edwards Siga, all the toggle switch pull stations really have basically the same switch. But yeah, now it has these weird little 4 tabs right here, and that is what the front of the pull station rests on. You can see it has these little tabs that correspond with it, and they line up in the holes, and when you put the front on, that's where it slides in, and they won't let the cover go no further than this. When you slide it down, that stops it. But yeah, anyway, these are the mounting holes right there and right here. I have no clue what these 2 holes are for, because there's not 2 corresponding holes down here. They're just up at the top. So I don't know whether they had some kind of 3-screw back box or something for these things, or if that's meant to flush mount it or something. But it's odd. But it's cool and quirky. So yeah. Now for the cover, it has this little metal tab on it. Now what this little metal tab does is when you pull the pull station, it does like this. And this is what provides your spring tension, so that when you release the latch, it just springs itself back up. If it didn't have this, you'd have to push it back up. But because it has this, then it just springs itself back up. I think if this were to break, you still could use it. You just have to push the thing back up and then release it, which wouldn't be all that bad, but it's kind of nice to have it just spring up. So yeah, once you've mounted it on the wall, then you basically do the reverse. You kind of line the cover up on the front, and then you turn this, kind of go up with it, and it'll sink in, and you turn it. I'll show you again from the side what that looks like. You turn that, and then you push the whole front of it up. I don't have it high enough. There it goes. You turn this, and you push the whole front of it up, and it just goes like that, and then you release it. So yeah, let's pull it one more time. Pull just like that, and then you reset it. So yeah, that is the review of the Cerberus Pyrotronics MS-151. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.